Welcome to the virtual world of economics, in which we try to understand microeconomics concepts in a practical and rational way, so that maximization maximization of opportunity which is available in the whole life. And through today's class, I will try to explain the two concepts which are cardinal and ordinal utility. Before moving, let's understand the concept of utility, and we can later on move towards the cardinal utility as well as ordinal utility. So, what do you mean utility? In the economics, the measurement of satisfaction measurement of satisfaction of human wants which are fulfilled by the consumption, and the measurement is known as utility. So overall, the concept of utility has very great role in understanding the economics. So the measurement is known as the utils, and the overall is known as the utility. And this satisfaction derived from the consumption of any good or services by a consumer, and that measurement is the cardinal or ordinal utility. So moving forward towards the two ways of understanding utility. One is cardinal, another is ordinal. So that before moving to the concept, let's go to the some of the mind blowing things, or some of the related towards the rationality of the human thought. First of all, what I have talked before, a rational or the common person thinks all about this. A common man thinks about the cardinal or ordinal utility? This is a question, and the answer to this, in my opinion, could be that a common person would not think related to this in his everyday life, but he takes the decision, he consumes the good or services, and he gets the satisfaction from the consumption, but he don't know the economic theories, tools which are used by the economists to understand the consumer behavior. So in the microeconomics, consumer is centrally centrally plays an important role. Overall understanding of the microeconomics has to be go throughout the understanding of consumer behavior. So if we are strong or interested in the understanding of consumer behavior, we can try towards the microeconomics consumer behavior theory. So a common person does not think all about the theories, but he makes the decisions and he follows his own path. And in the overall world, billions of people make the decisions on the daily basis, but they don't know these theories. And these tools are used by the economist, and they are published, developed throughout the history with the need and the importance of development accordingly in their period. So coming towards the cardinal utility, so that cardinal utility is the cardinal utility is the measurement of utility in absolute numbers. So if this statement is read by a common person, he says that this is not practical in my life, but this was developed in the before period, and in that accordingly it was developed for the many reasons, but that may not be applicable in the present scenarios. Due to that, the after the understanding of the concept, there are the criticisms and later on development of the new concepts. So, cardinal utility. Some of the assumptions which are related to the cardinal utility are as follow. Number one, utility is measurable, measurable in absolute numbers, whereas following towards the next, and the measurement of this is through the money. Measurement meant of utility through money. Let us come to the first assumption. In our real life, can this be possible that we can numerically explain our satisfaction or utility from the consumption of goods? So, this is not practically possible in the rational human being, whereas follow towards the second, measurement of utility through the money. So in this we can assume that if 100 rupees is spent, that can provide this much level of satisfaction. If 500 rupees is spent on the dinner in the restaurant, it will provide the 20 utils, but this is not possible in the real life. The reason behind this are many reasons, that are the the service may be not correct, the food ordered that may be not delicious, but still he have to pay the 500 rupees of bill for which he has been ordered the food. So whereas in the another scenario, someone traveled to a natural place with the expenses of 500 rupees, he got the some level of and the more and more level of satisfaction, and he become very happy. So both of them spent the 500 rupees. If we measure that in the absolute money, there is a gap between the satisfaction derived from the food and the travel. Both of them spent rupees 500, and if we calculate the measurement in the 500, we can't conclude that the he spent the 500 but he not got the utility of the 500, and he spent the 500 but he got the utility of the 5000. So this assumption may be not applicable in the real life towards the common person. Coming to the next assumption, diminishing marginal utility. So the derivation of the utility from good one to the good two of the same, there is a decrease in the utility with the increase of the one and more goods in the consumption, and there is a constant implementation of the money in the whole cardinal theory, and money serves as the very important role, and the marginal utility of money is constant, such that the every rupee spent provides the same level of satisfaction, whereas this is not practically applicable in the real life. Marginal utility of money can't be constant, but with the increase in the total utility, marginal utility will decrease. So this assumptions is not applicable in the whole process. Overall, the cardinal utility analysis was criticized, and further it gave towards the development of ordinal utility. Before moving towards the ordinal utility, some things has to be noted. Marginal rate of substitution comes under the cardinal utility analysis, and the when concepts has to be understood, some points has to be noted, that are when we select the concept, we have to go deeper into the concept. The reason is, when we practically practically learn or hear, or when we are asked about the particular concept, we can become confused. The reason is, there are many concepts which can be due to the lack of knowledge and the conceptual clarity in a deeper version. It leads towards the misunderstanding of the concepts and interchangeable of the concept, interchanging changing the concepts, that leads towards the overall confusion in the understanding of the concepts. So due to that reason, while understanding the concept, understanding any concept, we have to go deeper into the concepts, that will lead towards the understanding of related terms in that context. That will lead towards the understanding things in the particular context of the concept. When this happens, we can understand the concept in a very deeper way, and we can exactly point out that this thing belongs to this theory, and the MRS belongs to the cardinal theory, whereas diminishing marginal utility belongs to the that. So when we understand in this way, that will lead towards the clarity of the concepts in a broader way. So let's come towards the ordinal utility. In 1906, Pareto thought about this, whereas it was not the publication of the theories. Later on, Hicks and Hicks and Allen published the ordinal theory. So theory is published and the named theory is named by the publisher who given the concept. Due to this reason, Hicks and Allen got this on their names. So historically, ordinal utility was started by the Pareto in the 1906, whereas it was developed by the Hicks and Allen in their book and was published in the 1945. So coming towards the ordinal utility with the criticization on the cardinal utility, we can clearly state that it was the upgrade of the cardinal utility, the ordinal utility. Ordinal utility assumes that, or can be simply defined as the ordering of utility or preferences. So we can clearly state that the it was the after criticization on the cardinal utility, ordinal utility was published. So assumptions of ordinal utility as number one, ranking of preferences. So from the first and most assumption, we can distinct between the cardinal and the ordinal utility based on this assumption. Monotonic is part of ordinal. In the ordinal, consumer tries to prefer a bundle which he has preferred before. So in the monotonicity of ordinal utility, the preferences are monotonic, and later on next is the preferences are well defined. Consumer has his own preferences with the well defined, and the overall he has the clarity towards the his expenditure and the his overall spending of money. Next comes the transitivity, the TVT, which is the part of ordinal utility in which a consumer is a transit in its whole process. And in the ordinal utility, indifference curve, indifference curve comes. It is the combination of goods on which consumer is indifferent in his whole process, whereas we can simply state it as that the preferences is very clearly defined. On these points, consumer is indifferent, whereas to get another in the more quantity, he have to sacrifice one to get the another in the more quantity. To get the A2 in the more quantity, he had to sacrifice B1. So this can be explained by the indifference curve. Indifference curve is the downward sloping, not intersect each other. Indifference curve never intersect the each other, and it has the special curve